Yo, what's up? This your guy TLP23 back with another video. Shoot the like, shoot the sub, do whatever you want to do. All right, so what I'm going to speak on this morning, I'm just going to talk about an individual story of a woman who actually had a real struggle, you know, compares to nothing like we hear about today. And I just feel like people need, like generations as a whole, we just need to talk to your elders. You need to hear individual stories about what actually went on, because you can always look at things as a whole, but in my personal opinion, things need to be broken down so that way you can understand actually how blessed we truly are. Anyway, I'm gonna hop into this. There's a mother, there's 12 siblings in one house. They don't have any electric. There's a kerosene lamp. You know, the children are chopping wood for heat during the winter time because that's the only way they can provide heat for themselves. There's no lunch money. So if you go to school, this is an all black school. They don't have any lunch money. You get there, you go to school all day, come back home. Sometimes you still didn't have anything to eat. So which means you just didn't eat for the day. You just went hungry. You had to walk 4 to 5 miles just to get to school, 4 to 5 miles to get back. Sometimes they didn't always get to go to school because the older siblings had to take care of the younger ones. And you couldn't afford a babysitter, or you couldn't find anyone, to give you a helping hand to watch your children. Then somebody else had to do it because the mom couldn't stay. She has to go to work and make money to help support the kids, help support the family, keep a house and roof over their head. When they didn't go to sometimes when they didn't go to school, it was because they went to work. I'm speaking on the children. They're 5 and 6 years old at the time. They're working 12-hour days out in the field, picking 100 pounds of cotton, baling 100 pounds of cotton, literally 12-hour days, hot sun. This is in South Georgia, by the way. If their mom was sick or something like that, they had to go and do their mom's job. They had to work in her place because they couldn't miss a day of work because they needed that money. That's how bad things were. That's how different things were at this, in this period of time. It had to be done. Well, the oldest of the 12, she didn't finish school. She ended up working. She worked for a while. She ended up meeting the man, and they ended up getting married. He ended up going to New Jersey. He found a job and he worked that job for a few months, and then he sent for his wife. He sent for her, and she ended up taking the train, and she went all the way to New Jersey. She ended up getting a job working at a laundry where they clean folded linens, clothes, curtains, all different types of things like that had to be done day to day. She got tired of that. She ended up going to school to actually be a nurse's aide, and the school consisted of 12 weeks. 8 of the weeks you were learning, being trained and everything like that. Then 4 weeks was on the job. You was going to have to work at the hospital. Once those 4 weeks were up, that would determine whether you was good enough to be hired right there on the spot, or whether you was, they was going to tell you need to seek different employment or try another hospital. Well, she was so good. She was in the top 3 in her class. She was hired on the spot, and she never looked back. They started her off working 3 to 11, 8-hour shifts every day, back to back to back to back, no days off. That's how hard she had to work. And she did it with grace. She did it with pride. She did it with respect. She did whatever she had to do. She knew it was necessary because she had to take care of herself. And by this time, she had, this woman had children of her own, and she had to take care of them. She didn't know how to drive. Her and her husband had separated by this time. So she ended up going to driving school. She paid for the driving classes, and she learned how to drive eventually. She wasn't going to let anything stop her. Whether she knew how to do something or not, it didn't matter. Whether there was a struggle or not, it didn't matter. She was going to do whatever she needed to do to proceed in life and achieve whatever she wanted. So I just pretty much say, and pretty much she worked that job for 20 years. She worked as a nurse, she worked as a nurse for 20 years. She was one of the top in her field at this hospital. She also worked in gained extra hours as working in the cafeteria also. And she doubled up. She did whatever was necessary. She wanted to make a good career for herself. She wanted to make a good life for herself, and that's what she did. And she wasn't going to let anything stop her at all. She got laid off at one point in time, right along with a lot of other people because there's a strike going on. And, you know, she didn't sweat it. She went and found another job in another cafeteria, and then finally she was able to go back to her nursing job, and she never looked back. Never looked back. She just did whatever she had to do. And that's what's missing today. That is what's missing in 2019. People just need to do whatever they got to do to get forward. Adversity is just a part of life. That's how it is. That's how it go. Nobody can escape from it. Now, what kind of adversity you bring on yourself, that's a different story. That's a different situation because there are different forms of it. And sometimes you don't always bring it on yourself. But the point I'm trying to get is you got to, push through it. Are you going to be strong enough to push through it? Whether you bring it on yourself or not, are you strong enough to get through it? Can you will yourself through that? Do you want a better life for yourself? Do you know who you want to be? Do you know what you want in life? Are you making the right decisions? That's all that it comes down to. Life choices. This is all about life choices. If you know you don't have any money or you know you staying with your parents or something, don't be making children. Don't be going out here if you do have a job, don't be going out here spending up all your money. Save some of your money, invest your money, invest in yourself. Everyday life is an investment. Do something with your spare time. You have to invest in yourself. That's all this is. And once people learn to do that, instead of blaming others for their shortcomings and their failures, you truly open your eyes and understand that we all can achieve one goal. If you want to have a good life for yourself, it can be achieved. No matter what you want, it can be achieved. It's just how far are you willing to go to get through that? So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I'll be back at it.